Hello, and welcome everyone to the Kindness Not podcast. The Kindness Not podcast is where kindness replaces hate. We share real stories of struggle, resilience, and positivity, reminding us all that vulnerability is strength, and kindness is what ties us together. I'm your host, Derek Cortez, and your co-host, as always, is Miss Gabriela Hernandez. Now, before we get into who our guests are for this episode, I'd like for our co-host to tell us a little bit about TKK and the podcast.
I laugh because I tell them all the time, do not use my whole name.
Not my government name.
Not my government name. Hey, I'm Gabby. So, we're going to touch a little bit on the goal, the mission, and the logo of the Kindness Not. So the goal of this podcast is to bring positivity to the community through story sharing. We want the public to learn about overcoming challenges and obstacles. Our logo tells a story. The light blue Trinity knot represents an unbreakable community. Wrapped around it is an orange heart that represents love, inclusivity, and kindness. Our mission is to actively combat hate, self-hate, and bullying by promoting positivity through prevention, support, and collaborations. We provide resources, worksheets, and prevention techniques. But more importantly, I think we provide stories that inspire. The impact we want is to help diminish hate, racism, bullying, and domestic abuse by fostering a resilient community rooted in compassion and respect. And thank you guys for being here.
Thank you for that, Gabby. Now, I'm incredibly excited to finally introduce our special guest for today. So today we're joined by two brothers, correct?
Yes.
So two brothers who wear a lot of hats in the community, not just these ones. They're fathers, business leaders, and community servants. We have Fernando Ledesma, operations manager at Essentra Heating and Air, and his brother Hector Ledesma, the CEO and owner. Together they run Essentra Cares, a nonprofit making an impact right here in the Central Valley. So between the two of them, they're raising 5 kids, and beyond businesses, their mission is about building a safer, kinder community for the next generation. I'm glad to have you guys here. How are you guys?
Thank you. Well, first of all, I want to start by thanking you guys for having us here. And I'll be honest, we're a little green on this, so take it easy.
No worries.
Bear with me here, he says.
We'll make it funny. We'll make it fun.
No, this is going to be all about your guys' story, and I'm sure that the stories that you share with us today is going to impact someone and help someone today.
Sure.
This is what the platform's all about, right, Gabby?
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
Awesome.
So let's start with something a little bit more personal. You guys both talked about bullying, but in different ways. So Fernando, with your experience growing up, and Hector more with the workplace, correct? So I want to go to those moments first. So let's start with you, Fernando. How did that happen? How was it growing up? Give us a general overview.
Yeah,
Where did you
definitely.
grow up?
Yeah, I think it was mainly when I was in elementary school, middle school. I was a very shy kid. I didn't talk to anyone. I was very quiet, and kids used to pick on me every day.
Mm-hmm.
They were just telling jokes on me because I was the quiet one. When they do like group exercises, they never picked me to be part of the group.
Mm-hmm.
I always had to be part of like the teachers group. I joined the teacher as a group.
You had to eat lunch at the teacher's.
Yeah. Lunch with the teacher, or when the teacher said they'll get on groups of 2 or 3, they never got picked. I was the last one. Everyone just made fun of me because of how I was dressing up. Because I was the quiet one in the classroom, and that really impacted me. Throughout the years, I was still really quiet. I didn't have the courage to talk to anyone because kids will pick on me because my personality, But luckily, when I was growing up, as I joined. I used to work for big companies. I used to work for Facebook, for Instagram, and I was I learned that I had to speak up. I had to get out of my comfort zone. That I wasn't gonna let that those years impact me the way it was doing it. So I started speaking up. I started talking to people, and I'm right now. I talk to a lot of people every day with Essentra. But it really impacted me. It was really it really hurt that time when I see all these kids picking on me and making fun of me because I was like the quiet kid in the class.
What was the moment where you're just like something you remember even right now? Was it like some kid just saying like, why are you always just by yourself? You're a loner. What, do you remember
That's
something?
exactly those are the words. I used to hear those words every day.
Oh, it was me.
Every
It was
day.
me. No.
It was you. We went to the same elementary
Yeah.
school. No, but yeah, it was exactly those words every day, every single day. And every single day I came to school, I didn't want to go to school because I know those kids weren't going to be there, and I try to get that courage to talk to people, to talk to the other kids, but I couldn't. As soon as I got sat at my desk, they started picking on me, and I stopped. I couldn't keep going. Yeah.
Do you feel like it's also like, you know how they say to do daily affirmations that I'm successful and I'm beautiful and this and that? Do you feel that them saying that to you was almost like an affirmation, and you would fulfill it yourself every day? Like, okay, well, I guess I am a loner. I should just eat with the teacher and be by myself.
Yeah, I think so. I was 12 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think at that time, and a kid at that age doesn't have those resources or that. My parents, our parents are pretty old school, and they never sat down with us and talked to us about bullying, which back in their times, I guess bullying was that word didn't exist, right? Back in the 60s or 70s. So they see that kid like, oh, well, you're getting picked at school, well, do something about it, fight him back, or I'll tell him this and that. And yeah, so I think, we never talked to our parents about bullying, never talked to anyone. So it was something it was just inside me. I kept it inside me the whole time. Every time they tell me that, I was like filling a cup, little by little until it could explode. Yeah.
So it was
and that's
like
a rough age.
Yeah.
12 years.
Oh, yeah.
That's like middle school, sort of elementary, middle school. You're trying to figure yourself out.
the kids in that age group are ruthless.
Yes.
They're so bad.
Yep.
No filter. At
There's
all.
no filter. I don't think they develop empathy at that age.
Yes.
Not
Trying
until
to be
later on.
funny and
Yeah.
fit in. So you see that a lot.
These past couple podcasts, we talked to a lot of people, and I see like the common theme being isolation. So there's always isolation. Most of the time, there's some instances where it's isolation either at school or with family or with no friends. And in your case, it seems like it was school and family.
Yes.
And family probably just because like they're there for you for everything else, but bullying they didn't understand, so you were alone in that.
I wish I was born, I was raised during this time, that there's so many resources out there. You can, talk up to people. If you're getting bullied, there's programs, there's nonprofits, there's a whole bunch of things, right? And back then there was none of that. Maybe there was, I didn't know about it. My parents didn't know about it. They didn't know what bully was. That word, so there was no help. So I couldn't find any help. I couldn't talk to people about it. So it was really tough.
And Hector, how were you growing up?
I wasn't. On school, to be honest, I was always involved in sports,
Okay.
and I was part of like the soccer team. So I didn't go through that when I was on school. My case, I was when I was older, and it's funny because a lot of people, they when they hear bullying, they picture a kid bullying a kid, but it's not always that way. I mean, it happens when you're an adult. At work, believe it or not. That's one of the reasons I decided to open up my own company, because the way I was treated, it was kind of weird. It was bullying, but yeah, I mean, I didn't go through whatever he went when I was little, but my case was when I was
Who's older?
older.
You're older than
Yes.
him? What age
5 years.
difference? 5 years? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So it wasn't like you had your
Yeah,
older
you didn't have
brother
your
with
brother with
you,
you.
huh?
No,
That could
and
defend
I don't
you.
think we ever went to the same school.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think
wow.
one year we went to the same school. I was in middle school. He was in high school. It was the same.
Oh, yeah.
It was like a joint
Oh,
school,
yeah,
same
yeah.
names, and yeah.
How was you guys' relationship growing up? Did you guys fight a lot, or were you like very together? Like
No,
did you guys
I
get
used to
along?
fight a lot with my our older brother, because he used to pick a lot on him,
Yeah.
and I
So you
would
used to
defend him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're the middle.
I don't know
child.
if he remembers, but
Yeah.
I used to do that a lot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're the middle child.
I'm the middle child. Yeah.
Okay, so you used to kind of be the mediator. with
Yeah,
both of them.
exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, but I didn't know. I didn't know all this. This is new to me.
Yeah.
Sometimes that happens. You could
Yeah.
be in the same household, and like he said, he would just, self-isolate, and just not talk about it. And that's extremely common in males. extreme. They just bottle it up until they like either explode or you have to have an outlet. You either have to talk about it, take notes, or like Derek used to take voice notes, it just has to like be out there. Or or yelling or whatever it is that outlet works for you. That's usually sometimes what could alleviate
Yeah, well, it's also like he was saying, like back then, if you come to your father and tell him, oh, someone is picking on me, it kind of it shows like weakness. And our father, it's it's a tough figure. You're not gonna come to him and tell him, oh, kids are picking on me, because it looks kind of weird. So you just stay quiet. You don't have any other. I'm pretty sure at schools at that time, there was not a lot of resources like there is now. And
so either it affects you, or you just get over it, right?
Yeah,
that's usually what happens.
Yeah, and nowadays, I mean, I tell my daughter every day, I tell me, if anything's going on at school, let me know. I'm your friend, besides being your father, I'm your friend. So let me know, we'll do something about it. And she tells me something, no, you won't do anything about it. I will, yes. Like, trust me, I will do something about it. I'll talk to the teacher, I'll talk to a principal, whatever we have to do. Just, I want you to be, comfortable at school and safe.
Or give her pointers and advice. That's good that you put that out into the open and that she knows.
Now, I think this is probably a question that some people in the audience might have, some of our listeners. It's a simple one. It's, why didn't you just fight back? Why didn't you solve it with violence?
I was afraid. Throughout my whole life, I was afraid of fighting back because of like, what are they gonna do to me? If I try to do something, I had that that fear that if I do something, the next day they're going to come back to me and do something back to me.
The retaliation.
If I tell them something, they'll probably get some of their friends and
be even worse.
Be even worse. So that was always my fear, and that fear, I had it throughout even my teenage years. I kept that with me. That fear of fighting back my bullies, because it was a lot.
And then for you, how did you handle those conflicts growing up? If you had any. I mean, everyone growing up had someone that they had an issue with. So you didn't have that during your teenage years. So you must have handled it in some type of way. So how did you handle that?
I was always, even when I started, because not only friends, like team, not I got it. I've been doing this for like 15 years, over 15 years. So I worked in different companies before opening up my own company. So when I remember this guy, right, this foreman. So he used to pick on me and my older brother, because our older brother works with us as well. He does HVAC, and I don't like that, and I'll always fight back. I'll tell him, and 3 or 4 times I quit. I stopped working for them because I don't like the way, and sometimes we almost got in fights because of that. But I'm the kind of guy that if I get mistreated, I'll fight back. I don't get him do that. And luckily I never got into a fight, but maybe because of that, because when they see you that you're fighting back, they'll stop.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. But that's, like I was saying, that's one of the reasons I opened up my own business. Just the fact that I was seeing how I being treated, and the other my other friends in the same company, they were treated like really bad, and they were people that they were not even the owners, that were just a higher rank than us, and they put us to do work we were all supposed to do, but because we were like the new guys, they would let us do it. So when I talking to my wife, I was like, I'm gonna get my license, and my company is gonna be different, and that's what we created here in Essentra. And he can tell you, we're all equal. Like, there's no, even if you're new, you have the same rights, you have the same. We let you, if you have ideas, so we treat you the same. If my brother has been with us since the beginning, my older brother, and we have a new guy, so they're both worth the same, and they're they can do, and we treat them the same. It doesn't matter if they're new, or if they have a lot of time on the trade. Yeah. So
I think equality is like that's a big word,
yeah.
right? Because not a lot of people know what that means or knows that equality means, you know, just togetherness and being, like you just mentioned, equal to one another.
Yep.
Like you're not going to treat, you know, the new guy different, and so, because of your experience that you went through, right? So that, I mean, you learned it the hard way, unfortunately, but you learned it and you did something about it,
Yeah.
you know, so that's good. I respect that. That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
I don't, maybe I'm not going to phrase this correctly, but bear with me here. So I believe a lot in energy being transferred in one way or another. Like if there's energy being bottled up, so it has to be transferred somewhere in some type of way. For some people, that the energy being received towards them is hateful, and they get that hate and they push it right back out to either to the person that did it to them, or to the people around them, or to like their little brothers and sisters, the dog, the hamster, you know. So sometimes it's that, but sometimes, like in your case, you got that hate and you converted it into something where you created a business with it. You created a place where people can be equal, where it's some place that you envision yourself working at.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That is. That's great.
I think in my case also, it's pretty similar. You know, I was a quiet one, you know, all the time. And when I joined Essentra, the company, I told Hector, I want to talk to people. I want to talk to everyone. I joined all the some of the chamber events. We're members of every single chamber in the city, in the area, Modesto, Ripon, Patterson, and I like going to these events. You know, I want to talk. I want to do something that I didn't do when I was a kid. You know? So I want to talk. I want to show people that I can, you know, socialize. I can be there. So that's what I try to do now. I just try to go out there and talk to people, make relations.
Good. That's great. And it takes a lot. Not a lot of people like to do that, right? Or they're either shy, timid, or scared. So, or all three at the same time, right? So they're like, no, absolutely not. I remember my son, he's 20, he will be 26 in December. And he told me, oh, I want to go to one of your, to not one of my events, but an event I was attending at Oak Valley Bank here in Patterson. And he's like, oh, I want to come with you. And he was just being a funny guy. He's like, I want to go. I want to see. I'm like, sure, come on. I was glad. I'm like, come on. So he goes in there and he's just like standing there, and all of a sudden he's just like not saying anything, and he's very social, like no le para la boca. Like he's just like always talkative, and he was just kind of like looking around. And then I was like, oh, watch, I'm going to show you how it's done.
Yes.
And then people that I didn't even know, I was just like, oh, hey, and, you know, oh, do you like this water? Oh, okay, cool. Like, yeah, I like Dasani or whatever, you know, just whatever little thing you can pick from whatever it is, and then just spark a conversation. And he was just like, how do you do that? He was like, oh, like, why? I'm like, because sometimes when you're in business or nonprofits, that's your job. You have to make friends to make those connections. So I respect that. That's great that you're out there and, you know, putting yourself out there, but also sharing you guys' mission at Essentra.
Yes,
that's great.
Yeah.
She's who called you the Queen of Connections? Was that Carl? I don't know.
I don't remember. Multiple
I've heard
people.
that before, the Queen of Connections, because she's so good at initiating,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
But sometimes you'll run out of things to say, right?
Yeah.
I'm not very good at initiating, but I can keep talking forever to the point where I don't know how to stop it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how to
And
end
I
a
make the
conversation.
connections, but then I'm like, my energy just depletes, and I'm just like, okay, that's
She
enough.
taps me in. She's like, Derek, come here.
Yeah. Tag.
Yeah.
Now, how does the dynamic between both of you guys work in the workplace, where one of you is the initiator, one of you is the closer? How does the relationship work with you guys?
Well, I guess I'm more involved on the company itself, like
The technical.
yeah.
Okay.
And then he's more on the doing these kind of things.
Connector.
Yeah.
Good.
So we
Okay.
kind of split it.
Yeah, but it's a great relationship. You know, like we both have ideas. We share ideas.
Yeah.
We talk. We've talked for like hours, sitting down for hours. We talk about ideas and this and that. So it's great. I don't think we
sometimes
ever
at 10 a.m. 11, I have an idea.
Nah.
at
We should
midnight.
do this.
I text him at midnight.
Okay, well, can we talk in the morning?
So we have the connectors and the age-driven people over here, and we got the technical people over here.
Yes.
'Cause I'm very technical too.
He's so technical. I'm like, let's just get it done. And he's like, Gabby, wait.
Yeah.
Everything has to be. And then once we go through the motions, I'm like, you were right.
Yeah.
Like, you know, because you can't rush perfection. So he's like, no, it has to be perfect. And I'm like, okay. Me, I would have just been like, come on. Like, no headphones, no mics, no anything. We're just going to talk into the camera, guys. That's me. I'm very, like, action driven, but he's like,
But we
very
need
technical.
both sides.
Yes.
Because there's some things where I'm just like, we have to do it this way. And she's like, well, we can do it by this day. No, we can't. That's way too much work. And then it pushes me to meet that deadline. And like, oh, we actually did. So we need someone that's a visionary, and we need someone to be able to lay the road work down to get to that vision. You know?
I think the same thing with us. Like, he comes with ideas and he runs to me like, can we do this? Like, well, no, we have to wait. We have to do all of this. You know, I try to, I think I'm that person. Like, sometimes I bring like different projects. Oh, we should do this. We should do that. And then he's like, dude, it's only you. Who's good? Are you going to hire someone to help? How can you
Where
do
are the
these multiple
resources?
projects?
Yeah.
That's true.
Like, he wants to do 20 different things at the
That's
same time.
No,
Jesus
you're
Christ.
right. So tell us a little bit more of like the things that you would go through at your other job with workplace bullying. Do you think it's because they were flexing their power?
I think that's what it was. I mean, if you have most of, and you'd be surprised, most of the companies I work for, it was the same thing, same story.
Wow.
I still, you know, every now and then I run into the guys because we go to the same stores to get equipment. Obviously, they don't remember me because I was like a nobody for them, but I remember them. And they're still in the same company, driving the same van, doing the same thing, you know. And I'll just look at them. I was like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
You know, you did this because that.
It's similar to like what I went through. I worked at Emmanuel Hospital for about 10 years, and I remember the dynamic there. Good thing I had a small team, so it was just me and another lady, you know, in our cubicles. But it was an area of like 20 people there, so we were sharing space with like 20 people, but they were different departments, right? Yeah. So it was just always like the loud one, the funny one. They would all stick together, and it was just kind of, to me, I was like you, like quiet. You know, I like to work alone, just in my thoughts and my, you know, action driven. So I remember it was like a lot of if you're not with the cool crowd, like you're not part of us or you're not part of our group. So yeah, like I would deal with that. And even like little remarks, you know, like a group of women would say like little remarks or whatever, and I was just like, oh, whatever, put my headphones on and that's it, you know.
And then people think like those little remarks they say, like they think those don't hurt, but they do, you know. Even though it's just a little thing you say, you know, it hurts, it affects you. It affects you for a long time.
Yeah, it does affect you. You're right, because it would kind of affect me, but I'm the type of person that like I would get over it quick. I'd be like, oh, you're dumb, whatever, you know, or kind of hype myself up and be like, whatever. I think as a Latina women, to us, we're like, we try to psych ourselves up and pump ourselves up. Yeah. Why? Because sometimes, yes, people have treated us, you know, bad, or because they're another culture, they feel like they're more than you, right? So seeing that, like growing up, I was just like, no, I'm never ever gonna let someone treat me or disrespect me, you know. And they knew, don't disrespect me, because you're gonna get it right back, or I'm just gonna go to HR. You know, I'm not afraid to speak up and take it to HR. So it affects you, but I think, like I said earlier, it either affects you, impacts you, or you get over it. you know. So I think a good realization here is to, like, sometimes, yeah, get over it, but put, like Derek said, into an energy where you're putting it out into an energy, a positive energy, right? And yeah, as soon as I got out of like that job, I look back and there's people still there that have been there for years, and I'm like, dang, and here I am, you know, as a director of a very well reputable nonprofit, and I'm like, here I am, you know, and there you are, you know, and it's the same people that were always like being mean and nasty, right? So I share your sentiment with that you could just kind of look at people and you're like, not that you feel like you're better, but you just feel like you're successful, and in a way you're thankful that kind of happened, because here you are now, right, with your company, you know, maybe doing maybe better or whatnot. And I think as long as you keep a positive focus, I think, you know, that just impulses you to move forward into more positive outcomes.
Oh yeah.
I think so
I agree.
too. Now, I think how you experience your world, your reality, is white collar work, right? Now, I've always done blue collar work. I've warehouse, firefighting, trucking. All of that's blue collar. So I mean, I've never really worked an 8-hour job. You know, when I see that, I'm like, you got soft hands, brother. You're working 8 hours, 40 hours. It's a part-time job. How's it feel like? You know, but during those jobs, there's something where I like to call it seniority culture. So because someone has worked there for 20, 30 years, we've done it like this always. So when the new guy comes in, it's like, well, we can do it this way and it's a little bit better. No, you don't know what you're talking about. I've been doing this forever. How does that seniority culture hurt the company and hurt the people that are in the company? I think this is like a question for both of you guys.
Like in our company now?
Oh, just in a company in general.
Well, that's exactly what I was telling you. That's what I went through when I working with other companies. Exactly that, you know, where whoever was in charge, he wouldn't let you give him another option, or maybe you have a different way to do it, better way, a faster way, but they don't, you know, you're the new guy. I mean, what are you gonna teach him? And over here at Essentra, it's way different. I mean, I always tell the guys, you can learn from a guy that is working here one day with us. You can learn from him. Even my son just joined us 6-7 months ago, and I'll send him to with all the guys, and I'll, you know, even if he doesn't know what you're doing, because he's pretty technical. He's learning to be a technician, and I send him with guys that are installers. They're not as technical as he is. I always listen and ask questions, because even if he's new and he doesn't know what you do, he doesn't have your knowledge, you can learn something from him. And obviously don't treat him bad. I mean, treat him with respect, shake his hand in the morning, and that's the way we try to do it here. I mean, try to do it different. The way, I mean, I don't want to go back to the way I was treated. I want to treat my guys, and I think that, because the guys we have, most of the guys have been with us for years, and they like it. You know, they like the ambient, they like how they're treated, and it's been great.
Good.
You know,
You've
we're
created
lucky.
a culture.
Yeah.
Right. Good,
Yeah,
good.
exactly.
I've applied for a lot of jobs, I've done a lot of job interviews. One of the questions I like to ask the companies that I go to is like, how many of your employees have been here for longer than 5 years? That's a big telltale sign of when a company's bad. If they say, well, we got one guy that's been here for 30 years. Okay, what about the rest? 6 months. Like, okay, then I don't trust that guy that's been there. He likes a bad life, is what I say, you know?
Yeah.
But it also goes to show how important leadership plays a role in a company. You know, some people are in leadership, or they're leaders only in title. You know, they're only a manager because that's what their title says. They don't know how to be leaders. They don't know how to lead people. They don't know how to put the pieces together. So it's important for them to also grow themselves in order to create that environment to keep the people there. In turn, it's going to make everyone else happy. You know, so I feel like that's something that you guys really put into your business in Essentra, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, but I think you know, what this podcast is all about, bullying. I think we try to keep that out of the company. We bullying at workplace exists. So I think we try to keep the company a great environment, good environment for everyone. Everyone gets along really well. We do these like once a month. We gather everyone, make carne asada. We get so we try to create that bond with
Who
everyone.
cooks though? Who cooks?
Oh, we don't. We usually get
No?
no, we
Yeah,
usually
we
get
try
it.
Cater.
I was
Cater
gonna
kind
say
of
I have a grill at home. I want to see your guys' skills. No.
So just build that bond between everyone. If there's any issues, we talk about it. Hector talks about it with them, individually. We don't want anyone to feel like uncomfortable to come to work every day. We don't like that.
That's amazing.
And, and if they do feel, we always go to Hector, and Hector try to fix that right away.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to me, it's clear that those experiences shaped you guys and how you see people and leadership. So that kind of leads us right into the work that you're doing right now. So your company is all about comfort, but comfort isn't just heating and air. Let's talk about what the word really means for you both. So what is comfort for you guys?
I'll let you.
Okay. So comfort, of course, besides heating and air, someone not too cold, not hot at home. We always try to give them comfort by installing an AC but for us, I think the word comfort is more than that. I think just a few years back, we started helping the community as much as we can. I think comfort is being comfortable at home, at your workplace, on the streets, and anywhere you are. I think that's our mission is to keep everyone comfortable, either by installing a new AC or by helping them out and helping an elderly who doesn't have the needs to buy an AC, or to repair. Maybe they don't have $500 to repair the AC. So we help them out. We've done a lot of community events. We've helped a lot of people here in Patterson and Modesto. I think for us, it's not just installing an AC. It's keeping everyone. And comfort is just helping out, helping people, help them be comfortable. Yeah,
That's amazing.
You mentioned Diego. Is that your older brother?
Diego? No, Diego's a
Diego's
mascot.
with a koala.
Yeah,
That's
Diego's
what
a
I
koala.
thought. I was like, wait. I don't know why I thought you said your older brother. What's your older brother's name?
Jose.
Jose. Oh, okay. Where did the mascot idea come from? The koala.
That was one of the ideas, that pop up in the middle of the night,
Yes.
and I called him, hey, we should do a
Midnight idea.
mascot. And next day he'll have like a bunch of different
Yeah.
animals, and which one?
Okay.
And then
Was that your
one
idea?
That was actually his idea, and I helped design it because I'm also the graphic designer for the company.
Oh, okay.
/ marketing /
That's the other hat.
multiple
yeah.
hats. Yes. So I do all the graphic design too. So he came up with the idea one night, and I told him, yeah, that's a great idea. Let me design something. And in the morning, I already had like different animals. I had koalas, I had rats and rabbits, and any whole different animals.
Well, why koalas?
I like, the movie Sing?
Oh, yeah.
I like the little koala guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love his attitude, and he's always positive, and we're going to make it happen. And that's why.
That's cool.
Yeah, I like that too. Now that you mention it, yeah, because I think the whole premise of that movie was their stadium, their auditorium was going to shut down, and he was trying everything he can to keep the spirits up.
Yeah,
and
never gave up.
Never gave up.
Yeah.
So okay, so that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like that. You guys should make the koala sing.
Yeah.
yes. We are doing actually. We're animating the koala now with the AI. So we try to
saw
animate
that.
the koala and put TikTok videos and all that. Yes.
Good. Derek knows is it an app where you can create your own song?
Oh
so
yes.
it could say like Essentra or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, make up a song.
There's a
for
lot.
Essentra.
There's a lot of
there's
things now with AI.
You
Suno
can,
AI.
Now
you
AI
can do
can
rap.
do
You can
whatever.
do whatever type
Yeah.
of genre.
Yes.
Genre, yeah.
Genre. Yeah.
And it's great if you know how to use it for the good. I mean, if
Yeah.
you know how to use AI, I use AI every single day. I use ChatGPT a lot, and it helps you a lot. It's not, saves you a lot of time. And it helps you so much if you know how to use it.
Yeah.
Of course, in a good way for your business, it definitely helps. Yeah.
There's also with ChatGPT, some people use it as a second brain. Some people use it as their only brain. So they lose the
Yes.
ability to think critically.
Yes.
And sometimes you'll be seeing people, hey, ChatGPT, what should I eat tonight?
Oh my God.
What do you mean? What am I gonna eat? So it's you can use something for good and for bad.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me transition this to something a little bit different. Back to the business.
Mm-hmm.
Now, remember how I said that some people are leaders in title only. To me, there's levels of leadership. I read this book by John Maxwell, 5 Levels of Leadership, right? And one of the higher levels, I believe it might be the last one, is the leaders creating leaders. So with you guys setting the example of, being comfortable and being respectful to each other and treating each other equally, how have you seen that been duplicated in the employees in the company?
I think drastically, because recently, I mean, obviously my older brother, he was our supervisor, and the other guys, just by every time we get together every month, I'll let him know, this is what I want from you guys. I want you guys to learn, because everything you learn here, you take it with you when you leave. If you leave, obviously, I want you guys to be here for many years, but get all the knowledge you can get, and that way, ask me questions. If I don't have the answer, I'll look up the answer, call someone else, and give you the answer, and that way you can grow. And recently, we moved one of our guys to a foreman position, and the other guy was just like a helper.
Okay.
He moved to be a lead installer. So we're seeing that happen where guys get motivated and they start to to
Excel.
yeah yeah, and it and also all the things that we implement, the new things that we implement in the company, we try to do it ourselves too, so they can see that we do it. Simple fact that wearing our uniform every day, even though if like he's at the office or I'm doing something else, I'll wear my uniform, and I wear my steel toe boots, because I want to go out there and tell them, "Hey, you have to wear it." I mean, I'm not working. I have my boots. I have my hat. I have my my uniform, and they follow you. When you set an example, they follow you and they respect you.
That's a big
Yeah.
one, leading by example.
Oh yeah, that's important.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's so important to lead by example. Not all the time though. When you're leading, you're showing them exactly 100% of what you want them to do, right? But they'll only get like maybe 20-30% of it, right? They learn all the bad things from you, but not all the good things. So when it comes to having that difficult conversation of corrective action, should I say, how do you guys do it in a way that's loving and caring, that you guys value in your company?
I guess. So what you're saying? How do we talk to them so in a way that they understand that we're not too pushy or, well, I mean, just the way I am as a boss, and sometimes my wife tells me that I'm too soft. I'm more worried about like the person and their family than what they do. If they need a day off, they need a day off. I'm not gonna tell them if they need a loan, they need a loan. If they need this, I usually I'm pretty.
We're pretty understanding.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they have families. They obviously they need the work. They need their money on time. And I'm more worried about the person first than the worker. And I think that's every time I tell them something, they take it in a good way. They don't take it in a bad way, and they understand. They know me for years. Like I said, most of the guys have been with us for 5, 8 years, 3 years. So they know how how I am.
It's a people first culture is
Oh,
what
yeah.
it sounds like.
Yeah.
There's
exactly.
this we both worked kind of in the same industry where life insurance, and we would go to these seminars every week and training, and but one of the things they always pushed is what they called mission over commission. Well, your value over making money, right? And it sounds like that's exactly what's going on here
Yeah.
at Essentra, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I think so. I think on my previous jobs, I mean, one of the main tech companies, one of the main words there is culture. You got to build a culture first, and we brought that to the company. We got to build a culture. We got to make sure everyone's comfortable at what they do. Yeah.
That's so important for a company to have culture. I've worked for some companies where the culture is when I walk in and I see Joe Schmo. Hey, how's it going, Joe? Same stuff, different day. what kind of culture is that? And for everyone to say the same thing, you start to be like, well, maybe it is same stuff, different day. Maybe, and you just get like, you drag your feet, and it just, there's also been studies where, you know, when you put people around someone who's a high achiever, they have a 33% increase in their own productivity. So what do you think happens when you put someone that's not as productive in a group of people? It's like almost like cancer. You know, it brings everyone down, you know?
I think, and with us, every day is not the same thing. I think when one day we're doing something, one day I'm doing an event or planning something, then the next day I'm looking for a unit that we're, you know, every day is different. For installers, every day is different, you know, even for our office admin. I think some days we're planning a soccer game with the whole team, you know, or a lunch with the whole team. Yeah.
So it sounds like a whole community that you're building, right? So that actually brings me to our next segment, where it's a safer, kinder community. So you're both dads, you're both business owners. That puts you in a unique position to influence what the next generation grows up with. So let's talk about community and your nonprofit.
Yeah. Do you want me to talk about it? Yeah. So community, yes. So not too long ago, I would say maybe 6 months ago, we sat down. We were talking about like, how can we, you know, promote our company, you know, to get more clients, more leads, to people to know us in the Central Valley. Our goal is to become one of the top 3 companies in the Central Valley. You know, there's
by when?
As soon as possible. That's
give me a date.
The next year.
Oh, okay.
No, so yeah, of course we want to.
Next year is in 4 months.
Yes,
there you go.
That's right. So I think, you know, there's large companies in the area. There's you know, we don't see anyone as a competition, and no one. I think we see them as we can learn from them, from everyone. But so we were at the office. We were sitting down, and we were talking about how we can promote the company, and we mentioned, you know, putting $1,000, $10,000 in marketing, Google ads or whatnot, and you know, at the end of the talk, we thought that was the wrong idea. You know, I think not, but just start putting $1,000 or $60,000. Maybe yes, we'll get a few customers here and there for a few months, right? But one of the words that really, you know, stood up, or, you know, we saw that was the right path, was community. I think the best marketing you could do with the companies, help the community, be there for the community. That's you're gonna make more impact in the community than putting $60,000 in Google ads. I think, and after that meeting, that word stayed with us. You know, that word, it was part of our mission, community, and be there for them. So we started Essentra Cares, a nonprofit foundation, aiming towards like people that don't have the needs to buy an AC. Or repair an AC. We also help out like kids when kids go back to school, help out with like school supplies. In general, help out anyone that needs help, you know, that really needs help. We try to be there. We try to help us as much as we can. Of course, we can't be everywhere the whole time. There's many cities. You know, recently we've been doing a lot of things for Patterson. I try to do, you know, focus on a city one month. Next month we do Modesto. Next one we try to be, you know, clusters of, you know, community help here and there, so they can know all cities can get some help. But yeah, I think that's our number one priority right now, besides installing ACs. You know, it's community.
And they're not just, you know, honking, you know, their horn, tooting their own horn, or, you know, just puffing out their chest. No, they're actually in the community. I mean, I see you guys part of the cancer walk. I've seen you guys part of the sponsoring the Chalk the Walk for the kids. I mean, you guys are in the community. So it's not just, you know, you just saying that just for the cameras. You guys are actually been doing that background work, and I don't even know what stuff you guys do in the background where you guys aren't posting. I'm sure that happens all the time. Did you maybe want to share maybe something that you guys done in the background that you haven't publicized, but something that's impactful for you guys?
I think last year we gave out a furnace, like a new furnace for this person that was in need, and she didn't have the funds or the money, so we just give it to her for free.
Wow.
Yeah. I think every day, there's stuff that we don't post. Our technicians come to us in the office. They're like, there's this person that, you know, they need their AC repaired. It's 100 degrees. You know, what can we do? They don't have the money, and we just tell them we have to just do it for free. That's okay. You know, then that stuff we don't post, you know, because we don't have time to post it. We don't, so, and we don't, of course, we don't want to just, we're not trying to show off that we're helping this. There's things that you don't have to post.
Yeah.
You know, it stays in your heart. And I think that's what matters.
It's more valuable.
No, and it's so important because I mean, Gabby, you worked in the senior sector for I don't want to say the company, keep it private for you, but I mean, she's talked to a lot of seniors, and how important is it for seniors to have, you know, the AC during the summer?
Oh, it's extremely. It's you know, their health. It affects their health, right? And they're brittle sometimes, and you know, yeah. And the thing is that people sometimes think about becoming older as, oh, I'm finally going to retire, right? But guess what? You retire and all of a sudden you're just limited.
Yeah.
That limits you. Why? Because your health. You're older. You can't do many things. Financial means, I mean, how much do you really get from Social Security?
Not much.
You have to wait till like
Not enough.
67, 68, 69 to get the full amount. And
Yeah.
that's only like 1,700, maybe. I don't put that out
Give
there.
or
But give or take between 1,500, 1,800. And how far is that going to take you on a monthly basis? Especially with COLA right now, cost of living expenses. Not much.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're super limited. Many of our senior citizens, their families are no longer around, or they didn't have kids, right? So they're by themselves. So I saw that constantly on a day-to-day basis, you know, seniors being by themselves, seniors having their pets, and of course they're going to want to keep cool. They're going to want to keep their little family pets cool,
Yeah.
right? So it affects and it impacts their life
Yeah.
greatly. So I saw that a lot.
And we've been to homes and like you can't look away. You know, you can't. I think we have some cancer patients that we helped out
Yeah.
as well, right? Like it was like 100 degrees outside. They had cancer and we helped out as well. Yeah.
And that's why this is important, and these connections are important, because we tried to do this last year, but we didn't have a lot of people to help out. We even did this event that we were trying to keep the kids away from their tablets. So we put about a bunch of different was
Like soccer balls. and
soccer
football. Yeah.
balls. We give them away, but nobody showed up. Just barely any kids showed up, because we didn't have the connections.
I don't
So
think
that
we were
was
part of any chamber.
yeah, and we want to do something. We want to work and do things for the community, but without the connections, it's difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, you can try, but you're not gonna get any. So we need you guys' help too.
It's like in order to help the community, you need to have a community
Yeah.
to
Oh, yeah.
back you up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we were a member of any of any chambers back then. I think only one, Escalon, and we tried to do that. You know, no one showed up. So and now every post anything I post, everyone shares our post. You know,
That's
you know,
wonderful.
The whole chamber, Love Patterson, reshares our post. Everyone. So that's really great.
I mean, and look, it's usually just schools, nonprofits, families. They're setting the tone for kindness and spreading love. And it's not too often that businesses are the ones that are pushing that agenda where it's like, we have to give back to our community. It's usually like, how are we going to make more profit this quarter? You know, you guys,
Yes.
you guys are staying in the yard for too long. It's, time.
Yes.
We're paying you guys. So
Yeah.
it's not too often you see like businesses giving
and
back.
community.
Yeah. Yeah.
And not only that, I feel like sometimes businesses like to just throw money out. Oh yeah, I'll sponsor you. Here's
I'll buy a table,
Bye.
and then there's no one at the table.
Yeah.
Then they're back.
Yeah, I
No,
see
we,
that all
we,
the time.
we don't like that. You know, we want to feel part of it. You know, every time I personally try to be there for
Yeah.
all the events that we go to.
Wow.
I want to feel part of it. I want to feel recognized. You know, I want to know that what I'm doing it's a good thing. So adding to it, I think Google Ads. I think we only spend $500 on Google Ads. Every
Wow.
month. $500. That's it. We are now, if you look up HVAC Modesto, we're the top 5 in Google on the first page. And why? Because I think, helping the community. We recently got Best of 209 in Valley, and all because of helping the community. I think, none of that putting ads on Google and Yelp we wouldn't given us that. Yeah.
And then just a little piece of advice: just keep that consistency.
Yes.
Because a lot of people, yes, you'll perform, and all of a sudden you're at the top, but then
Yes.
the next year, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, what happened to them? Like,
No.
So consistency is
Oh, yeah.
key. Yeah. You mentioned Love Patterson. I'm part of. Well, Derek's a part of Love Patterson. I'm a part of. I brought him in. Leaders building leaders. Voluntold. Look at me like that. So we love Patterson. Why? Because we have a really good team. Kendra leads, by example. She's a good leader. So, but being consistent. You have to be consistent, right? And they're true to what they believe in. Oftentimes, there's other nonprofits that they'll just go with the flow, and it's called mission creeping. So mission creeping is when it goes to your mission is no longer your mission. Your focus is no longer your focus. Why? Because you're chasing that money. So oftentimes that happens with nonprofits, right? They chase the money, and you're kind of like, okay, where are you at now, right? So I think consistency is key, and just, a piece of advice from myself to you guys, just that consistency. And I mean, I'm sure you guys will do that, and I'm sure you guys know that, right?
Yes.
And I feel like what you guys are doing is great, and helping out the other nonprofits is key, because in this nonprofit world, people think it's easy, and it's not. Sometimes it's not, because it's a lot of work, and you're basically doing it for free.
Yes. Yes.
So yes, nonprofits give back into the community, but they also need to, people need to feed into it also in order for it to work. So
I like to
focus.
use analogies a lot. I'm very big on metaphors. Like, I mean, you've seen I'm referential in a lot of things. Sometimes someone will say something, I'm like, oh, this and that. So for me, the consistency analogy that I like to use is either a train or an airplane, because I'm a visual person. With a train, I mean, it has so much weight, and when you first see a train taking off, it's just so slow, but then it gains the momentum, and it's just going, and to stop that train, you can't stop the momentum, so you have to, that initial push is the hardest thing. Once you're going, it's hard to stop you.
Yeah.
So it's good that you guys are doing it, and I hope that you guys don't stop. It's basically what I'm trying to say.
Yes. Yes.
We won't.
Okay, so as we're kind of closing up here, I'd like to shift into some advice and some encouragement to the listeners. So a lot of our listeners are students, parents, and people working and dealing with tough situations. And I'd love to hear your advice. So if a young person right now is dealing with bullying, what would you say to them?
Well, if you're experiencing bullying, obviously my first advice is talk to someone. I mean, you're not alone. There's always someone that you can talk to, and like my brother said, I mean, he didn't talk to nobody, so he kept that with him. Just go out there and talk to someone. You'll find help. Look for help.
I think so too. Yes, definitely talk to someone. There's resources out there. Talk to your parents. If a young person, it's a child is getting bullied, talk to your parents. That's what I tell my daughter every day. And also take that and build something positive from what you're getting. Try to always, of course, fight back in a good way. Not violence, but always fight back bullying and talk
by
to
speaking up.
by speaking up, speak up. Yeah.
Now, I like that advice because it's simple and it's clean, right? But sometimes what's simple isn't always easy, right? So, I mean, you can tell someone all day, why are you still with that guy? He cheats on you all the time. No, you don't understand. Well, it's simple. Just break up with him, right? So what you're saying is, go out and reach out to someone, right? Now, there's going to be some listeners that they'll hear that and they'll be like, yeah, I should do that, but they don't do it. For those that don't do that, they're probably someone that likes to be, more to themselves. Is there a quote or some book, maybe something that you heard in your life that would get you through a time when you're by yourself?
Or a song.
A song, maybe. A movie,
What do you think?
He's like Diego from Sing.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I mean, obviously there's songs that you can, whatever makes you feel good. If you're not, if you don't want to talk to nobody, or you're like, just find something that makes you feel better, feel happy, and whatever it is, sport, or playing an instrument, or music, listen to music, whatever
I think
makes you feel better.
Going back to the music, I think that helps us a lot. We play instruments too. We used to play music
La
back
Plaga?
then.
Tell
So-
us about La Plaga.
So I think that really it helps you too. It like I used to do that when I was a teenager. I was really quiet. So when I got home, all I did is just practice my instrument. And that helped me forget about those
Yeah.
school problems.
Refocus.
So I think like he said when he was in high school, he did sports. Doing something, sports, music, reading a book. I think that's the best thing. If you don't want to talk to anyone, that's your get out of this world.
Because then you got something to, you're having a rough time at school, but you come back home and you're doing something that motivates you, and okay, well, this is bad, but this is great. This is good. Keeps you going.
Yeah.
It kind of seems like it's good to have something that gives you purpose, something that kind of is a goal that kind of keeps the finish line keeps moving forward, and it kind of propels you. Because some of us, like, I mean, if you want to be the happiest, you don't want to achieve your goals. You want to be there before the goals get achieved. That's like the sweet spot right there. Because like, have you ever been like when you're gonna receive an award for something and you're like, this is what I've been working for. The night before, you're so excited, and then once you get that award, you're kind of like, okay, now what?
Finish line.
Yes.
moves
Yeah,
forward.
the finish line moves more. So like with things like hobbies, like music, you can only get better, and it sounds better, and you just kind of keep going and keep moving. So have something that gives you purpose.
Yes, I agree.
And I kind of want to talk about La Plaga. So what is that?
How long did that last?
You want to talk about it?
Do you guys still play?
No,
No.
he still plays.
Yeah, once in a while, I like.
Well, what do you play?
Well, he was.
What instrument?
I saw him on drums.
He plays drums. I used to play guitar,
guitar.
and I also play with drums. So yeah,
okay.
He plays every instrument.
Yeah.
And
that
that's
was-
one of
yeah.
the things that
Creative.
maybe that's why he learned all these instruments, because he was by himself on this little shed with a bunch of different instruments, and he learned them all.
It was a blessing in disguise.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I didn't have a teacher, so I didn't have YouTube on that during that time. There was no.
YouTube.
I think I don't know if YouTube was existing. I think it did, but so I didn't have a teacher, and then coming from home from school, getting bullied. So I just grabbed the instrument, and then my dad randomly about a different instrument. I was like, okay, I'll learn this one now, and then a different one. And then so I learned how to play like piano, bass, guitar, and all those. Yeah.
I play piano, so we're gonna have to get together.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
We'll start a little band or
Right?
something.
like the old times.
Yeah, right.
The
I mean,
non-profit band.
the isolation sometimes breeds creation.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of like it separated you to kind of create something.
I like that, Derek.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to copyright that right there. Register.
Okay, well, I said it first. And you saw it right here, guys. I got 4 cameras on me now.
Hey, we brought the idea.
Yeah. So everyone gets a cut here.
Isolation breeds what?
Creation.
Creation. There you
She
go.
can't even say it right. She didn't make it up. No.
Let me write that down real quick.
But yeah, definitely. If anyone, I would do that. I would go towards like learn
Find
something,
something,
find
yeah.
something, read, learn. Yeah.
Okay.
You'll forget about all the problems.
Yeah, you really do.
Yeah.
You kind of like just in your own little world. You
Yes, yes.
it's so weird when you focus in on something.
Yeah.
You become in this like flow state. I like it.
Those outlets.
Yeah. So when it comes to workplaces, what advice do you have for someone dealing with that kind of pressure and negativity at the job? Now, I know how you dealt with it. You're like, I'm creating my own company. That's it.
I'm
You
outta
know?
here.
That's like the far end right there, and
Yeah,
it worked
yeah.
out really well
That's
for you.
extreme.
Yeah, that's extreme, but hey, well,
Yeah.
a big risk, big reward, right?
Yeah.
How do you think that someone that isn't going to do that can deal with it?
That's a good one.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. My advice would be, just let people know you're not afraid. Obviously that you're not okay with whatever they're doing. Try to ignore it as much as you can, and if you can, we'll just get away from it and find something out, something else, you go somewhere else when they treat you right. I mean, that'll be my advice.
I think
obviously.
yeah. And I also went through a very hostile environment when I was used to at my previous job. My manager, she didn't treat me well. So one of the things she was always like very micromanaging, and I don't know why, But one of the things when I tried to sat down with her and talk to her about it, one of the things she told me, I told her, I just feel like I'm not being listened. One of the things she told me back, she's like, I feel the same way. Which that you don't expect that from a manager, a responsible manager. So I was coming to work with headaches every day. I felt really uncomfortable coming to work. I mean, my solution was just to quit. I don't think that's the right thing to do, honestly. But my solution was I just have to quit. I don't think I can keep going. Maybe the right way was just to try to fight back and try to stay on your ground but yeah.
I'm glad you called it out, though. I'm glad that you sat with her and you told her the issue and the problem, because oftentimes that's the issue, that you don't speak up and you don't call out the problem.
Yeah.
Right? I remember also calling out the problem. And that's another conversation. I was very oh, okay, you're going to hear my mouth. But I think calling out the problem and the issue, sometimes the other person does not realize what they're doing and how it's affecting you and impacting you until you call it out. You mentioned just ignore it, which is sometimes you can do that, right? You have to become strong enough to ignore the issue and let it roll off of your back, right? And be like, I'm gonna ignore it. It's your problem, not mine. But then you called it out, right? I think for people, the advice that we all can give people is whatever works for you. For you, that worked for you. For you, is just ignoring it or whatnot. It just kind of depends on your own personality, your character, how you're gonna deal with it, right? And how it works out for you, right?
Yeah.
So calling it out sometimes is a good thing. Oftentimes, sometimes you can't, right? Because let's say it's the boss, and you're like, I am not gonna go to him and be like, look, like you yelling at me, like that was not okay or whatnot, right?
Yeah.
So then what do? Ignore it, let it roll off your back, and be like, all right, maybe he's having a bad day. And that's another thing that I did not like, when people were like, she's just having a bad day, that's why she's acting like that. Oh, she's just having a bad day, don't worry about it, ignore her. And I was like, no, I don't care if she's having a bad day. You leave that at the door. You don't come in here to the workplace and you don't talk to me like I'm nothing, or you're gonna push your weight around. I'm like, no, we're gonna stop that right here. And I would deal with the issue. I would go to the person and be like, listen, this is affecting me like this. If I did something to you, let me know. We're adults here. So if you don't like me for a reason, cool, I respect that, but we have to work together. So if I did something that you didn't like, I'm right here, let me know. Coming in a respectful manner, right? So oftentimes a lot of people don't do that, and what happens, they're depressed, or they isolate, sometimes even commit suicide, or they do things to others that affects others. So it's a big trickle effect, right? So I respect that, that both of you guys have both your views and stuff, and, just moving forward, whatever works for you, right?
Yeah, and no one believed me during that time when I called it out. No one else believed me what was going on. I came home. I was having arguments with my wife every day just because of that.
Right.
Yes, and then so I quit. And the funny thing is, 2 weeks later, she got let go. Yeah. So because I
when it rains, it pours.
Yeah, because I had a interview with HR after I quit, and I told them everything, and they actually were looking at her every day, and she got let go.
Wow.
Yeah.
And sometimes that just has to happen. Because that's how people learn. You have to learn that that's not okay. You have to respect people, and like Derek had said earlier, leaders building leaders, and sometimes leaders and leader roles, they don't know how to be a leader. They're either rough, tough, or disrespectful, because that's the power, and that's what they think is a leader. and sometimes it's not. You know, there's always a way to say things in a better way.
Yes.
Yeah.
And growing up, I've had different ways of essentially dealing with problems, right? I mean, because you're young,
Yeah.
you do things a little different, but you get older, you get wiser, right? But one thing that has always been consistent with me is I'm very direct. I don't like to beat around the bush. I'll call something out, and that has stopped a lot of people from continuing to do something. I mean, and I've even done it like in workplaces. I'll straight up tell someone, like I've done it before, where I'm like, you know what, I don't like you, but I don't have to like you to work with you. So let's just, at the very least, talk to me like I'm not a dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that's the best approach, because I was just kind of thinking of it right now, where talking to someone and resolving an issue is somewhat kind of like taking someone's Starbucks order. Everyone likes it different. Like they want 2 cups of vanilla syrup. I want steamed milk, and this is that. And some people just like coffee black. You know, some people like direct conversation. Some people want you to kind of sugar in a little bit of niceness. Because imagine me being direct with someone that's very direct and aggressive as well. That's gonna
fight.
yeah. There's gonna be
Yes.
something
Yes.
going on right there. So I mean, taking a measured approach, I think, is you kind of have to understand yourself to be able to understand other people as well.
And the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then that requires a lot of work. There's
Oh,
not a lot of
yeah.
people out there
Yes.
that are like that think about other
We'll
people.
put in the work.
Yeah, that put in the work. It's incredibly difficult.
But it's great that, I mean, it's not great, right, that we went through those issues, but I think it helped us, you know, shape Essentra what Essentra is right now. It really did. Yeah.
Good.
Now, one of our final questions, and I will let you guys add anything else. What's one way listeners can show kindness today? Something simple that, you know, they would do that can make someone's life easier.
I think it's really simple. I mean, sometimes even my daughter tells me when we're out driving in Patterson, she sees like a homeless person. She's like, and she tells me, "Daddy, give him $1. You know, give him something." You know, I think something really simple as saying, you know, "Good morning." You know, that goes a long way. You don't have to do anything big. Just when you're out there, say good morning to someone. You know, tell them how are you. You know, and that. You know, maybe someone. They're lonely. They don't have anyone. You know, something happened in their lives or something. Just a little, you know, hey, how are you? How are you doing? You know, that goes a long way.
Yeah, good.
You never know what someone's going through.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, even having a simple conversation with someone can change their whole life.
Yes.
Even, you know, it'll have a butterfly effect. You know, they don't have anyone in their lives, and they finally get that one interaction, and you know, hey, you know what, I think I might just brush my teeth today. I might just take a shower, and then, you know, hey, I got a job now, and you know, it could turn to something. You never know. So it's always good just to, you know, I guess I call it like getting a lottery ticket. You know, you're just kind of like always getting a lottery ticket.
Yes.
You might just win one day. You know.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, before we close up, is there anything else that you guys want to share with us? Gabby, do you have anything?
No, just thank you guys for being here and sharing your
you.
stories and your life experiences. You know, that means a lot, and for reaching out. And we hope to see you guys soon to just, you know, partner more and collaborate more. And consistency is key, and stick to it. And it seems like you guys' heart is in the right place. So thanks for being here.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah.
guys for the invite.
And so, just so that the listeners can kind of see, where can they find you guys on?
Your social media
Website,
handles.
Instagram,
Yeah,
Facebook?
and we're pretty active on TikTok.
Really?
Yes. So
You
we
guys
do
dance?
We
That's
do
amazing.
yeah. So we gather our service tech guys and we do just random videos. You know, random challenges. We do that on TikTok. So we're trying to grow our TikTok as well. I think, you know, that helps a lot too. You know, so yeah, they can find us on TikTok, on Instagram, Facebook, all social media with Essentra HVAC. But that's it.
I've seen their videos. They're
Yeah.
good with the trends. You guys are really good.
Try
with
to keep
that,
up with the trends.
I like that. Who's the videographer there? Is
I
Avram?
do
You
mostly. I do
Oh,
the
you
video and
script it?
editing. Yeah.
You come up and you're like, guys, this is what we're gonna do.
Yes.
What are we doing?
Yeah, no, you've seen those memes, those TikTok videos. Oh, when the social media manager comes in, it's like, that's what I do. They're working. I say, hey guys, wait, we need to video.
It's like, Fernando, hide.
He has a whole list of ideas on the whiteboard. This is the
Uh-huh.
next one we're doing.
They're
Yeah.
like,
It's just because I feel like you said,
make us do something.
yeah, like you said, consistency. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just being
No, it's
consistent
true.
on you know, anywhere.
Consistency is
Awesome.
key.
So I'll put the links and the the usernames up on the screen for you guys that are on YouTube watching. For you listening, I'll good luck. No, what's your Instagram handle?
Essentra HVAC. So
Okay.
Essentra HVAC. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, it's the same handle.
All the same thing. Okay, that's good. It's consistent.
Yes.
That's what
Yes.
it is.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Fernando, Hector, thank you both for sharing your stories and for the work that you've been doing through Essentra Heating and Air and Essentra Cares. We'll drop links so people can connect and support. And for our listeners, remember, kindness doesn't have to be big to be powerful. Sometimes the simplest action can make the biggest difference. Thank you guys for watching, and subscribe to the channel for future videos. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right.